Hey YouTube, I'm Jess. Welcome back to a new video. A few weeks ago, I filmed a video where my Instagram followers chose my makeup. For today's video, I'm gonna be filming using all of the makeup that didn't get chosen. I'm gonna use all of the losers from the Instagram polls and we're gonna do a full face of Instagram losers. I thought this was such a fun idea and a great way to use some products that are from brands or are products that are maybe lesser known, but I still think are great products. And I thought it would be a great way to showcase them for you guys. So if you are interested in watching this video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up and let's get started. Okay guys, so pretty much the only product in this video that I don't like and that I was happy you guys didn't choose is this guy right here. This is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizing Base. It's a mattifying primer. I mean, it's not that I don't like this product, but it's just that I usually go for a glowy base. You can see like my skin is really glowy right now. I have my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream on already. So what I'm gonna do with this is take a little bit on my fingers, rub it up to kind of warm it up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna press that into the areas of my face where I tend to get a little bit oily in a way that I don't like. I like my skin to look dewy, I like it to look hydrated, so I'm never mad about a little bit of oil, but I do tend to sweat a lot from my nose, kind of the first place I start sweating, and it really comes through my makeup. And then if I was using this primer for my own volition, that's all I would really do. But I'm gonna also take a little bit more and just add a little bit to my forehead here. Really pressing it into the skin, into the pores. So we have a little bit more of a matte look to our foundation today. So for my contour, I let you guys choose between cream and powder contour, and you guys chose powder. So for today's video, I'm going to actually use my cream contour, and I'm gonna try something different with it. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. This is in the shade Light Medium. Usually I would put it on top of my foundation, but today we're gonna try it underneath. So I'm going to just apply this in the areas that I want to sort of contour and bronze my skin. And I'm just gonna blend that all in with my beauty blender. And I'm not being like super precise. It doesn't need to be like super blended or look super seamless or anything. And then next we're gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. So I gave you guys the option between my Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher and the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and you guys chose Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury actually won in almost every single category that she was in. So there's gonna be a lot less Charlotte Tilbury in this video, which I think is probably good. I've been doing a lot of Charlotte Tilbury content lately. So for concealer today, I'm gonna use my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I love this concealer. And I'm going to use a little bit of this just under my eyes. I think I'll do a little bit sort of in the center of my forehead here. And then the foundation that lost out in the Instagram poll was my Dior Forever foundation. I love this foundation. It's one of my favorite foundations ever. It's definitely a little bit more on the matte side, so we'll go nicely for that matte look that we prepped our skin for with the Makeup Forever mattifying primer. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of this and I'm gonna squeeze it out onto the back of my hand. And then this color is a little bit fair for me right now. So I'm gonna do my little trick where I just add in a tiny bit of Magic Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury just because it's a little bit of a darker shade. And I'm gonna mix those two together. And then I'm gonna blend out that concealer and foundation at the same time. I love this Dior Forever foundation. It gives such a beautiful sort of satin finish to the skin. It's got really nice coverage. It looks so good in pictures. It's definitely one of, if not my absolute favorite foundation, and I never use it. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because I have other foundations that I love too, but it's just so good. It's just so good. Okay guys, so then for my setting powder, the powder that lost the Instagram poll was this guy right here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Genius Magic Powder. This is Charlotte's loose powder. I actually really like this powder. I think I'm actually starting to run out, which is sad. I think I will set underneath my eyes with a brush. And I always like to set kind of down the sides of my nose towards my smile lines here where foundation really creases up on me. And then I'll probably just set right on the center of my forehead as well. Then I'm not dipping back into the pan with any powder at all, just with whatever powder's left on my brush. I'm just gonna run that over top of the rest of my skin, just to really, really, really lightly powder the rest of my face. Okay, and then the bronzer that lost the battle was this guy right here. This is my Dior Bronzer in 001. I really, really love this guy. You can see it's been well loved. So I'm going to use this to just kind of warm up my complexion a little bit. So I'm gonna take it around the edges of my temple, up onto my forehead. I'm gonna keep it on my cheeks just a little bit higher. Bronze up the neck a little bit. And then I'm just gonna run it down the sides of my nose as well. Love that. Just a soft, warm bronze. Okay guys, so I just filled in my brows. I didn't give an option for that, so I just did that off camera really quickly. Next up, we're gonna move to the eyes for a little bit, I think. So the loser in the Instagram poll for my eyeshadow primer was this guy right here. This is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I used to use this years ago when Sephora first came to Canada. I was living in Edmonton. I must have been like 15 at the time. And it used to come in like different packaging, but it's been a really, really long time since I've used this. I picked it up recently, so this is gonna be kind of like a first impression for me because it's been so long, and when I was using it before, I was not a makeup artist at that time, so I don't think I could really judge it properly. But we're gonna give this a go for sort of the first time today. First time in a long time anyways. It's got this nice little applicator on it, and yeah, let's just go right in. The consistency, I can tell right away, is a lot more watery than what I've been used to using recently. I was recently using the Trish McAvoy eyeshadow primer, which I loved, and then right now I'm using the Laura Mercier one. So this is definitely a different consistency than both of those. A little bit almost like oily in a way, kind of strange. So I'm just gonna pat that out with my finger. I like that it doesn't have too much color. It's one thing about my Laura Mercier one is sometimes I feel like because it has color, it kind of shows up underneath my eyeshadow sometimes. This one's a little bit more clear almost, although it does have a little bit of color, a little tint. But yeah, I really like the way that blended out. So let's see how shadows go on top. The palette that lost is this guy right here. This is my Natasha Denona 5 PM palette. This is palette 04. Really nice neutrals in here. I think what I'm gonna do first is take the bronzer again, and I'm going to just apply this all over my lid and sort of blend it out up above my crease, because all of the colors in here are sort of satiny, except for this one right here, which is more matte. This is kind of too dark to use as more of like a transition shade. So I'm gonna use my bronzer for that purpose. And yeah, I'm gonna just kind of take that all over my lid, through my crease, and then sort of up above my crease as well. That bronzer blended out really nicely on top of that eyeshadow primer. It didn't catch at all. It didn't get patchy at all. So far I really like it. I don't know how it's gonna be for like longevity, but in terms of application, I really am enjoying that Urban Decay primer right now. The next thing I'm gonna do is take this color right in the middle here. It's kind of like a reddy brown shade. I really, really like it. I've got that on sort of a medium-sized blender brush. Look how pigmented that is, it's crazy. And I'm just going to pat that all the way across my lid from the outer corner to the inner corner. Beautiful color. I was so shocked you guys didn't pick this palette when you voted on the Instagram poll. I wonder if it was maybe because this was more neutral colors and the other one I put up was more colorful, but I don't know. You guys just love Charlotte Tilbury. The other palette I had up was a Charlotte Tilbury palette, so I feel like that's probably more the reason why it got voted for. I love Charlotte Tilbury too, don't get me wrong. But I love to use other brands as well, of course. On the same brush that I used to blend out the bronzer on my lid, I'm just gonna really lightly go over the edges of that and kind of blow them out, smoke them out a little bit to soften them and yeah, just give it a really nice smoky look. Ooh, I love this color. I don't think I've ever used it all over my lid like this before. It looks so nice. So I was kind of blending without paying attention, and I really blended that color into this inner corner here by accident. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side just so they match. So really just blend, blend, blend right into this inner corner, kind of deepen it up. And I'm gonna take that same color on a pencil brush and run that underneath my lower lash line as well. I just wanna kind of really get the shape of my eyeshadow down before I add any more to the eye look, just so I kind of can see what I'm working with, kind of see what I'm doing, you know? Yeah, I really love this color. My eyes look so green. So now that I have that all blended out, I'm gonna take this darker matte brown in the palette on my little flat definer brush. I'm gonna run that along the lash line so we have a nice smoky feel. And same thing on the lower lash line. So I'm just not blending this color out as much or as far. I'm trying to keep it closer to the lashes. Did end up getting like a ton of fallout under here, so I'm probably gonna go and add a little bit of more concealer. But let me just wait until we're done. I'm gonna take this gold color right here, and you can see like I'm using the part of the brush that still has some of that red eyeshadow on it. I'm gonna really lightly just tap into the gold color. So those two colors kind of mix together. And then I'm gonna really lightly, just really wash that really lightly over the inner corner of the look here. I don't want it to look like straight up gold. I would love it to almost like kind of fade into the rest of the look really subtly. So it is kind of like a mixture of that reddy color and the goldy color. Yeah, that looks so pretty. Okay, so let me just clean up under the eyes a little bit here on the nose and stuff where I got some fallout. Probably make my under eye area a little cakey, but it's just like too much fallout to kind of leave alone, you know? So same concealer, just kind of going in and cleaning up that area. Okay, that looks a bit better, quite a bit cleaner. So the last thing I'm gonna do for this look is take my little brush that I use for my inner corner, and I'm just gonna take the really light shade in the palette and just softly, because it's so pigmented, add that to the inner corner of the look. And then I'm just gonna mix it with a little bit of that gold shade as well. And just go right over top so that it's not as like white, but it is a little bit lighter, so it will kind of brighten, but it has more of that gold feel. All right, let's do eyeliner. So unfortunately, the eyeliner that lost, that I'm gonna be using today, is my Maybelline Gel Liner in the color brown. I used black in my last video, and brown would have actually worked nicely in that video, but I feel like this look could really be anchored by a nice black gel liner, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and use brown. That's one of the reasons why I really like doing these videos, is because any kind of video where I don't get to choose the makeup that I'm using, I end up using products that I wouldn't normally use, or I use products in a different way than I might normally use them, or combine them in different ways than I might normally use them. And I just feel like it's so much fun and helps me be more creative. So let's go ahead and just do a little wing here with this brown gel liner. I think because I do want it to be a little bit dramatic, I'm gonna go for a little bit of a bigger wing. That's kind of how I'll compensate for the fact that I'm using brown instead of black, is just kind of try to make it a bit thicker, maybe a little longer. And then I'm only gonna take it about 3/4 of the way across my lid. So I'm stopping sort of right in this area right here. I'm not taking it all the way into the inner corner. I used to always do my wings long and thick like this. It's been a while, but I'm into it. So I'm gonna give my lashes a really quick curl right here. And then the Losing Mascara is my favorite mascara, the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes. This is the only Charlotte Tilbury product that lost to a non-Charlotte Tilbury product. And I think the only reason it lost is because I put a little note on the slide saying that the other mascara was gonna be like a first impression. It was the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, and I hadn't ever used that one before. So I added a little note into the slide saying that, and so I feel like that's why that one ended up winning. and this was the only Charlotte Tilbury product that lost. I love this mascara still. It's so good for like an everyday mascara. It's great for separation, curl. It gives a little bit of volume without being too clumpy. And I'm just gonna apply actually a really light layer of it because I do wanna put on a pair of lashes. Okay guys, so I just threw on a pair of falsies really quickly, just a pair of Ardell Wispies, and I realized that when I was doing my liner, I kind of forgot that I was gonna be putting on false lashes. So it's kind of bothering me that my eyeliner is not coming all the way into the inner corner of my eye because I really feel like I can see the lash band on that inner corner. So I'm just gonna go back in with my gel liner, and I am just gonna add that to the inner corner of my eye here where I didn't put any before, just because it helps to disguise that lash band and just make everything look a little bit more seamless. I just think that looks a little bit better. We are getting there. We are getting there. Let's finish off the face. So I'm gonna do a little bit of highlight first. Last time I let you guys choose between cream and powder highlight, and you guys chose cream highlight. So today we're gonna use the powder highlight, which is in my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. Oh, you know what I just realized? This was not the powder highlight that I was supposed to use. Oh my God, okay, it was Champagne Pop, it was Becca. So this was actually the highlighter that I put on my pole, the Champagne Pop highlighter by Becca. So let me just real quick go right over top of that Charlotte Tilbury one. That Charlotte Tilbury highlighter is really natural. So we'll just go right over top with this one. Just kind of amp it up a little bit. I love this highlighter. I feel like this will always be a favorite of mine. Just such a nice color. The formula is so good. So creamy and smooth and reflective. It just makes my face look wet. The blush that I'm gonna use today is this guy right here. This is from a brand called Catharine Isabella. I really like this one. This is in the color Lovey Dovey. This is a cream formula. I'm just gonna take my beauty blenders to get right in there. I'm gonna dab a little bit off on the back of my hand first, and then into my skin. I really like this product and I really like this color, and it did not stand a chance against the Charlotte Tilbury blush in my poll, but I'm happy that I got to use it today. Okay guys, so last but not least, we're gonna do lips. Kind of forgot about the lips when I was doing my eye look, so we're gonna be quite dramatic today with a very dramatic smoky eye and a dark lip, because the loser in my poll was a dark lip option. So we're gonna use MAC Vino lip liner to start. It's been forever since I've done a lip this color. Okay, so I got my lips looking nice and even there. And then the lipstick that I'm gonna use is from Urban Decay, and this is in the color Shame. Look at that. Okay. Let's just go right in. Look how pigmented that is. I love this color. I wish I had a lip brush, but I don't think I do. They're all in my kit. Okay, so let me just use my finger as a lip brush. This could be a terrible disaster. Just trying to blend that lipstick and lip liner together a little more. And that is it, you guys. That is the finished look. These are all of the losers from my Instagram poll. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you head over there and follow me so that you can take part in the next one that I do, because I'm definitely gonna do one of those again. I had so much fun, and I know that you guys had a lot of fun participating in it as well. I definitely would not normally pair this eye with this lip, but I think that they work together really nicely, and it's very like fall, so we're definitely in the right season for it. I think it worked out really great. If you guys agree and you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up so that more people can see it too. It helps me out so much when you do that. Leave me a comment down below so that I know you were here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I just realized that my ring light was on like 10% brightness for that whole video. What a mess. Okay, let's do a close up.